This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network, now in its 7th year. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey everybody, guess what? Yeah, it's the Ramble, and I'm Alex Bennett. We're here until midnight tonight, and we will talk with you and have some fun. If you hear a little buzz going on now, it's because we have the air conditioner on all the time. It's getting a little warm in this part of the in this neck of the woods, so we're having to go with the air conditioning, and I wish we had a quieter air conditioner, but there's no such thing. They all say, we went out, we were buying a new air conditioner, and everyone says, oh, this one's quiet, this is a quiet one, oh, this is, and none of them are quiet. They all make a rumbling noise, but hopefully you can't hear it that closely, and we'll hope that it doesn't bother you this evening. Every so now and then we spend like the first 20 minutes or 25 minutes of our program with a gentleman who everybody seems to absolutely hate. And I don't think he takes that the wrong way, because he seems to enjoy it. Yeah, he lives in that venom that is incurred towards him. Hello there, Phil.
Hey, I don't feel good.
You don't?
No. I've been taking COVID test after COVID test, and they're all negative. But
Yeah.
my eyes are tearing, my ear hurts, my nose is running. I feel like a piece of homemade shit.
Really?
Yeah. So I've decided that it's time to go left. If I don't feel good, I want the government to take care of me. I don't want to have to work. Just let the government take care of me. I'll vote for Biden. I don't even have school loans, and he can pay them off. It'll feel good.
This is getting. You're not serious about this now, are you?
Well, I see all of these heroes, for instance, in the Louvre.
The Louvre.
Some guy.
The Louvre.
No, it's actually pronounced Louvre.
No, it's pronounced Louvre.
I asked Siri.
Well, it's pronounced Louvre.
Maybe in this country, but in France it's Louvre. Okay. Hey Siri, how do you pronounce Louvre?
Well, what you gonna say?
From travelingtexans.com. The correct French way to pronounce Louvre is Louvre.
All right.
Is Louvre. What?
Yeah. So this guy dresses up like an old lady. He's in a wheelchair, and he's got a piece of pastry hidden beneath his skirt. And with wheelchairs, they can push him closer to the Mona Lisa. And the Mona Lisa has this big piece of glass in front of it. I guess several years ago, somebody threw a cup at it.
No, that isn't it. The Mona Lisa has been stolen so many times
Yeah.
that they're not sure that the one that's there now is the original.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, this guy takes a pastry, and it must have been a cream pastry, because he smears it all over the glass. Well, he was quickly removed. But, hey, he's a hero.
Why is he a hero?
Well, because he's expressing his issues with the right, and, how they're keeping Mona Lisa behind glass instead of allowing her to be seen and touched by the masses.
Well, they've allowed that in the past, and that didn't go very well for them. They don't allow you to. They also that glass has a ultraviolet or something on it to prevent it from fading with all the people that want to take flash pictures of it.
Well, I I was in a museum, and there's a lot of museums in Paris, and this was the Museum d'Orsay.
The
And
D'Orsay.
yeah, well,
That's
d'Orsay.
that's the Impressionist Museum.
Yes,
Yes, and it's in the old railroad station.
right across the river from the Louvre.
And also from where it used to be, which was I think it was called the Musée d'Orsay at that time too.
Yeah.
But they moved it over there to that train station. It's one of the most beautiful museums in the whole world.
It's a fabulous museum.
Yeah.
And I saw all of these signs that said no flash photography.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked somebody, how come? And they said, well, because if you use a flash, you don't get a very good picture. It just washes out the picture, and it's overexposed. And
also, if too many people take flash pictures of that one painting,
particular thing,
it will start fading as a result. So, I mean, like, you can shoot video there. In fact, what's nice about the museums in Europe is they allow you to photograph in them if you pay a fee.
Yeah.
So I paid the extra, like, $10 or something, and was able to go and just shoot everything. And you could get this close to a Van Gogh if you wanted to.
Yeah, exactly. At that museum, at the Museum d'Orsay.
Musée d'Orsay.
Musée, yeah, M-U-S-E, I guess.
Well, I just try to give you culture, but that's like leading a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Right. Well, I've got too much culture. The eyes are running. Maybe what I should do is join an ashram. That's I'm getting prepared.
Are you sure that what you don't have isn't allergies?
They're probably allergies because I have tested 3 times in the last 2 days, and so far no COVID. But I've got a kit, and the last COVID test didn't come with one of these Q-tips. So I use these Q-tips for cleaning my guns. And, I figured, hey, maybe I do have COVID, and one more test may tell the story.
Oh, you want to do it here?
Oh, yeah. So let's see. You got to go up about 3/4 of an inch 5 times around in this nostril. What happens if you have 3 nostrils? And so anyway, let's see. So I'm visiting this nostril, and now I'll visit this nostril. All right. Now, have you done your home COVID tests?
No, because I haven't been sick.
Yeah. I don't know why I got sick.
Okay, so now what do you do after you do that?
Well, then they give you these things in the kit. Of course, there's instructions. You open the envelope, and inside the envelope, hermetically sealed, is a COVID tester strip, and this. Where is it? Oh, there it is. And this thing, which you stick the. Don't make it very easy to open. So anyway, you stick the Q-tip in that.
Okay, that's the reagent, I would imagine.
How come I don't have a producer that opens this up? Gabnet's cheaping out, If they got me a producer, then I would be able to have this stuff already open before I have to fumble with it. Okay. And there's a liquid. All right. So this is the liquid. So you take this liquid off, and you fill this.
Hold it up to your camera so we can see you doing it.
Yeah. You fill this thing and you put the liquid in there. Okay. Now the liquid is in there. You can see it in the bottom. Then the next step is you take the Q-tip and you swirl it around for a while, and you make sure that you transfer the stuff to the liquid. There's probably a reason that the Q-tip that came with this was smaller than the one that I'm using. So we do this for about 15 seconds. All right. Then, oh, the Q-tip fell off in the thing. So then there's a top. So, so hey, this is live radio.
Live. This is whatever this is.
All right. So you put this top on, and then you're able to squeeze 3 drops into this thing that says 3 drops. You put 3 drops. So we put 1 drop, 2 drops. It's not going out. 1 drop. Oh, there we go. 1 drop, 2 drops, 3 drops. All right. So we got that up there. So we'll wait a minute, because what'll happen.
Well, show us what you're holding. So.
Okay. So what'll happen is this is going to go up to the thing that says C. C does not mean COVID, and it doesn't mean pregnant either. It means that you've got enough of that liquid in the orifice to reach the C, and then there'll be a red line. And so once that happens, hold it
closer to your camera. Hold it closer to your camera so we can see it. Okay. So I'm looking over here because I'm looking at you.
Yeah, no problem. So it's getting up there, and there should be a red line at the C within a few minutes, and that tells you that you've applied the proper amount of shit. But because I probably screwed this thing up, there's the line. It's starting to appear.
Go closer to your camera. Closer to your camera. Even closer than that. Yeah.
Do you see it under the C?
I don't see the red line, however.
It's not red yet. It's just beginning to show.
Yeah.
And there's a line under the C, and it should turn red, and that's the control. So let's see. So this thing is starting to get darker and darker, and so in 15 minutes, once I see that red line under the C, then in 15 minutes we'll look at it again and see if Phil has COVID. All right. Yeah. Can you see the line is starting to get darker?
Let's see here. I have to look over here. Let me see.
All right.
Let me put on my dark glasses. My glasses here. I see a little bit there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the control. So we'll give that a couple of minutes. It looks red here, but now if there's another line under the T, that means I'm positive. If there's no line under the T, it means I'm negative, which I am quite often. Yeah. So, oh God.
Oh,
but the show must go on.
The show must go on. Yeah.
So let's see. While we're waiting to see if I'm positive or negative, Justin Trudeau took all the guns, made it illegal to have guns in Canada. I guess they put a freeze on guns. You can't sell them. You can't buy them. You can't own them.
Good.
So
good.
I guess there'll be a lot of guns for sale in the United States from Canada.
What do you mean? What are you saying?
Well, all those people that can't sell them in Canada and can't own them, all they got to do is ship them down here, and there'll be a bunch of gangbangers that'll give them good money.
I don't know if there's some law against that, however.
I'm sure there is.
Anyway, he has what may. Oh, good for Justin Trudeau. He doesn't have to live by a constitution that has a wacky Second Amendment.
Well, yeah. Well, he can. Remember Trucker Steve? Those guys went and protested, and what did they do to them? They towed their trucks, they closed their bank accounts, and they made their lives absolutely miserable because they were protesting. And I don't think that was fair. Yes, they blocked the bridge, but
yeah.
Isn't that how you protest?
Yes, but if it is against the welfare of people's welfare to do that, and it endangers them, then no. You know, peaceful protesting is not doing protesting which may be harmful to people. That's not peaceful protesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen a lot of protests, and not all of them are peaceful. But hey, I've decided it's time to join an ashram. I'm going to just go Om, and join the left.
Oh,
and,
quit trying to be cute.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's hard when you're sick.
Listen to him. You know,
Oh, yeah.
we have waiting on the line. Soon he'll be here. We'll put him
Yeah,
on.
I got tissues.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Is Josh Wheeler, who has COVID?
Oh,
Yeah.
well, let's see if I'm joining him. So far, it's still at the C.
It's still at the sea. Okay.
Yeah, so that's the control, and this line, it looks red here, but it doesn't look red on the camera.
Yeah, I can't see it as red here.
Yeah, it's not red on the camera,
Yeah.
but I guess the gamut isn't picking that up. But it's definitely red in person.
Yeah, I've only taken one COVID test, and that's only because they paid me $50 to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bought some COVID tests yesterday, 2 of them at Walgreens, cost me $23 or
Really?
$26.
They should be giving them away free.
I think they are. Kaiser, I believe, will send you one a week, and then the U.S. Post Office. Did you get the? I got these.
Yeah,
from the
we
post office.
have 4 boxes of 2 each.
Yeah, I got 2 boxes of 2,
Yeah.
and now I understand you can get another shipment.
Yeah. But,
So-
we just haven't had any need for them because we haven't suspected that we have COVID,
Yeah.
So,
Well, I don't know how I got this. I mean, I take all my vitamins, and
well, there are other cold. Is it a cold?
it's either a cold or allergies.
Are you running a temperature?
No.
Okay, then it's a cold.
Yeah.
Or allergies, one or the
Yeah.
other. Yeah.
Yeah, but I never get sick. Yeah, ever. And
Well, it happens. Join
Yeah.
the club.
yeah, so I had to cancel some appointments tomorrow because I didn't want to expose this friend of mine to whatever I've got. And so far, it's still not COVID.
But maybe you gave your entire photo club COVID.
They all wear masks, and they're all careful. There's not that many of them. As soon as once we started having in-person meetings again, we lost a lot of momentum. And next year I'm done. I don't want to be the print chair anymore. I did it because I got conned into it. The guy who was doing it got Alzheimer's.
No, you like the
coming
power.
on.
You like the power.
Yeah, the power, yes. Yeah, I have to. You show up, organize the prints, and hand them to somebody who puts them on a box that has lights in it, so the judge can rip it apart. And although I did all right, but the problem is I'm not in the master's group yet. You have to have so many points in order to get into the next group. So I went from basic to intermediate to advanced, and then master. So my competition is minimal. And I put in 2 pictures. I got first and second.
Yeah, but once you go to the masters, you get wiped out.
Yeah, probably some of those guys are great, and all they do is travel and go to different countries and to the most fantastic places because they're retired and they have money, and and that's their hobby. There's this one guy, he hires a guide to take him to get the best shots,
Really?
and he goes all over the world.
Well, you see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so, hey, I've got to, photograph MMA fights and wrestling and things like that. But I think people are getting tired of my pictures because they have blood in them.
Yeah. How's your test doing or anything?
Still nothing. You got that?
Still nothing, huh? Okay.
Yeah. So has it been 15 minutes yet? Almost. I started this about 5 minutes in, so it's been about 10 or
Yeah,
12
because
minutes.
you accidentally lost that Q-tip in there. Did maybe
Yeah,
that?
but I was able to squeeze the stuff out. So what's the difference if as long as I could squeeze the
Oh,
bottom
I
of the
see.
tube
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and get the stuff out. But each one comes with a desiccant. These desiccants are pretty good. You can
Yeah.
use them for other
I
things.
use them with guacamole dip.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're very very delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, did you miss me yesterday?
If I said yes, would you believe me?
No.
Oh, okay, then I won't say yes.
Alan calls me and says, "Hey, you're not going to be on 4 times a month." I said, "Thank God." But he says, that you want to have more interviews on Wednesdays, and I'll do,
No,
like
not
every
on
other.
Wednesdays.
I think that's a great idea.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Well-
because you're such a good interviewer.
Well, yeah, but no, but it depends on whether I have anybody, and then I might have
Yeah.
to bump you. Otherwise, I'm not going to bump you on Thursday.
All right, whatever you'd like to do is.
But if
is
let's
fine.
say I do an interview with Slayton or somebody like that, well, I've already got Bubbles and I've already got Kravitz, so I got to put Slayton somewhere. And if it were that Thursday, that would be fine.
I was thinking about approaching some people that I know that are comedians and are to the right and actually nice people. And see if I can get them to come on and have you talk to them so that you get some fresh blood.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
nah, I didn't. You don't like me to book anybody, do you?
No.
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 I remember once I got a lady. She was an ex weightlifter and I brought it and I set it up at Camel for you, and you actually did an arm wrestling on the air. But the way you described it, you were able to really make it real for everybody, even though it was over the radio. Do you remember that one?
No.
No. All right.
But I imagine I did it. If I was, arm wrestling, it sounds like something I would do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She was a bodybuilder, champion bodybuilder. So I got her to come to the station with your permission, and you arm wrestled her. I thought it was great.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it sounds like something I would do. But I'm just tired today. I don't know why.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, maybe you got what I got. You want a tissue?
Yeah. I'm just, just tired all the time. It's been getting hot here, and then my air conditioner decided to stop working.
Is that the new one?
Yeah, and then I ordered a new one. It just arrived
I
today.
thought you
It-
had to give up your air conditioner to the old.
No, those
landlord.
were his old air conditioners, but the one
Yeah.
in the bedroom wasn't his. So anyway, so it all of a sudden it stopped working on the hottest day of the year so far.
It's always like that.
Yeah, and so we immediately ordered a new one. This one's got Wi-Fi though. That's what's great. Got Wi-Fi.
Another thing you don't have to get up to touch.
That's right. We can just yell at Alexa and tell her to
So
turn it on.
what rooms are you putting this in?
In the bedroom.
Oh, okay.
In the bedroom. But in the meantime, the old one, the bad one,
Yeah.
started working again. Now,
All right.
I'm still going to, we still kept the other one ordered and had it coming, because if that thing went bad and then it suddenly perked up again, it's going to go bad again. So I
Yeah.
just, when we're getting to this part of the year where it's going to be devastating if you don't have an air conditioner. So I'm doing the air conditioner thing.
I understand. They have air conditioners that mount on the wall, and then there's a unit. I think Mitsubishi sells them. I was looking at a house and that's the kind of air conditioning they're going to use. They said they use them in Europe. So they mount above a door or above a wall, and then there's another part of the unit that goes somewhere else. And
these are those. Yeah, I know those air conditioners. I have a friend who has one. It just goes up. It's kind of a corner. It goes up in the ceiling.
yeah,
Yeah, and yeah, but yeah, they're very expensive.
oh,
And I just decided just get this one. It ran us close over $500.
really?
It
Did
would have
you-
cost us less if we'd gone through Amazon, but Amazon couldn't get it to us for at least a week, if not 2 weeks.
Did you try Costco?
No. Whereas we went over to Costco, I'd have to actually lug the thing back home.
No, they deliver
Well, yes, if you go through their
online.
thing, which would also take a lot of days to get it to us. We wanted this faster, so we went to Best Buy and paid an extra $75 to buy it now.
Oh, you couldn't get them to match?
I didn't have time for any of that.
Yeah.
All right. I just wanted the goddamn thing.
How many BTUs?
1,200. 12,000. 12,000. Yeah.
Is that going to blow your circuit?
No, because it's not in that particular area.
Oh,
it's
okay.
not. We've got two things that are hooked to fuses. Two circuits that are hooked to fuses in the basement. One, the entire apartment is on one of them, and the other one is only on like one plug in the wall in the dining room. So I have it plugged into there, and it certainly can take 12,000.
Is it a fuse or a circuit breaker?
It's a circuit breaker down in the basement.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's too bad they can't put in a heavier circuit breaker, but maybe the wiring won't handle it.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what the story is. I mean, everything in this apartment house, you got to realize this building was built in what?
1900 or something?
1900. And at that point, it didn't have electricity in it.
Yeah. Do you still have the sconces that had the gas in it?
No.
No.
Excuse me, I'm trying to keep myself from sneezing. That's why I'm doing this.
I am still COVID free, but I'm pregnant.
Oh, okay. Well, hope it's not mine.
Nah, it's not mine either.
Yeah. So what'd you think about the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard thing?
I'm glad you asked about that.
See, because I think I came up with a theory. The whole thing was trivial, okay? The whole thing was real trivial and looky-loo stuff. But the outcome was profound.
Yeah. Do you think that these lawsuits were brought to reinvigorate Johnny Depp's persona? And
Yes, of course they were. He even said so. He was
Yeah.
suing because he wanted to win back a lot of the people who think it was a wife beater.
Well,
he wanted to
how
clear his
much-
good name.
How much do you think he spent on attorneys?
I wouldn't be surprised if it's somewhere around $2-3 million.
Wow. And Amber Heard, when she got the verdict, said, "I don't have the money." So-
No, and I don't think he's suing for the money.
yeah, well, he got awarded 10 million and
but
5 million,
but
I think.
what that did was that said to people that a jury felt that she was lying in all the things that she was accusing him of.
Well, why is she getting
And we've talked about this on the air here about guys being accused of doing things they never did, but because the woman says it, everybody immediately wants to believe it.
I was thinking about Kavanaugh and Avenatti when he marched a couple of women in front of Kavanaugh and accused Kavanaugh of rape and so forth. But Avenatti today,
I don't think the two have anything in comparison
it's
with
a
each
similar
other.
thing.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
How is it not?
Because Kavanaugh was up for being a member of the Supreme Court and therefore was subject to all kinds of scrutiny. Johnny Depp is not does not have to put up with that. He's not.
But
he's
Johnny
not-
Depp played a Supreme Court justice on TV.
No, he didn't. No.
I know.
No, but I mean, it's entirely different. Entirely different.
Well, we've found that Michael Avenatti was not an upstanding person.
Yeah.
He stole the book proceeds.
Well, let's face it. To begin with, he was a lawyer, wasn't he? Okay.
Yeah,
So
okay.
you're asking for him to be upstanding and be a lawyer?
But if you're going to accuse someone, even if it's Kavanaugh and the position that he was going for, shouldn't it be based on the truth?
Yeah. I mean, things should be based on the truth, sure. But
Blasé Ford had some recollection during her childhood that this had happened. Oh, my fellow liberals, hello there. It's nice to see all of you. Biden, Harris, I'm ready.
The air conditioner Phil was talking about is called a split system.
What's that noise?
Somebody's got music.
Kevin's microphone working good.
Yeah, it's Kevin.
Sorry.
Is that a beard trimmer or a shredder?
It's a shredder. I'm warming it up for the election.
Okay.
Hey, when is the California ballot due in? I have to fill it out, and I didn't see
Tuesday.
Biden on it.
The mail-in 2
Tuesday.
days ago.
Tuesday at 8 o'clock p.m.
Tuesday, Kevin? Wednesday, Phil.
Yep.
Wednesday.
I'll just drop it off in the Dropbox.
Just
Is
give
the
it to
election
me.
the 7th?
Just give it to me.
Okay,
we'll
I
take
know.
it.
I know it'll be safe.
Yep, I got a shredder right here.
Yeah. How many of them do you want?
And not too many for the shredder because he doesn't have one of those really expensive ones.
Ah, yeah.
I could do 4 or 5 ballots at a time, easy.
All right. Do you keep the sticker that says "I voted"?
Yeah, I got about 20 of them.
All right.
You want one? You want 2?
Yeah, I got 2. I got 3 right now. You
I got a
know.
whole roll.
Yeah.
Josh, how you feeling? He has COVID. We know he has COVID.
I'm okay.
Yeah. I mean, has it been tough or has it been easy?
I wouldn't
that
say
say?
easy, but man, it hadn't been tough. But
Yeah.
it's not easy. I mean, it's just I would say it's annoying. That's all.
Yeah. You mean like
Yeah,
like Phil?
Yeah. I got a cold. I don't feel good. You know?
Yeah,
Do you notice
it's just-
do you notice how nobody here cares?
Yeah. Alan cares. And Jeff cares. He's
Well, he
a
only-
I'll
third
tell you
guy.
why I care.
Yeah.
My granddaughter, my oldest granddaughter, is working on a show in Connecticut. And she's the producer, I think. And they keep getting sick.
They keep getting COVID.
Yes. So I don't know how they're going to have a show. So she was supposed to stay at our house because it's closer than where she lives.
Okay.
Pam actually told her, no more. You can't come here because I don't want to get Jeff sick and I don't want to get my mother, who lives down the street,
Sick.
if she gets sick.
Yeah. And I don't think Pamela wants to get sick
Travel
either.
And she doesn't want to get sick. I mean, it's like crazy. Everybody that I know is getting sick these days.
Do you want to know what happened today? What I heard today? I get a call from. I wrote Shecky last night and wished him a bon voyage because he's going to Europe on a big vacation. Right, 3 weeks,
Lucky.
cruises, 2 different cruises, in one of which winds up at Castle Dracula in Transylvania and so on. And really terrific. He calls me today and says, "I'm not going."
Ugh.
Why?
He said, why? Was because he said, I'm going to go on this trip and I'm going to worry for 2 weeks that you have to take a test coming back to get into the United States.
So they'll hold you out of the country?
Yeah.
Does he get a second cruise free?
Wait a minute. Let me finish what he was saying. And he didn't want to spend his whole vacation worrying about that. He wanted it worry-free. And the whole idea of having to take a COVID test to get back into the country he lives in, I mean, there's something, I don't know. I don't know whether I approve of that or don't approve of it, but he said he just didn't want to deal with it So he said, I don't care if I lose the 15 grand on the vacation I was going to take. I am not going.
Can he come back through Mexico? All he has to do is walk across the border and they won't test him.
You know, you always taking a moment out to pull something like that out of your
course.
fucking ass.
But hey, this way he doesn't have to worry about it. If the ship docks in Tijuana, he walks across and where's the test?
Anyway.
We want that. We want them to be able to.
But, so he decided not to. He decided not to go. You know, and I mean, it is a big problem. You know, and then also he didn't know. Hey, Delta was supposed to be flying over there. He didn't know whether Delta was even going to fly. You know,
they canceled 2,300 flights the other day.
Yeah.
Now, why do you think they did that? It was a holiday, wasn't it?
Yeah, but they canceled them.
So they can raise the prices.
I don't think it was that.
I think that has something to do with it. I really do. I think all these people. I think everybody from gas stations to airlines to car rental services. All these people are like feigning problems so that they can charge you more.
The thing that costs you more is when you lose a customer. And you make a customer dissatisfied. That costs you a lot more than whatever amount of money.
What world are you living in today?
I'm living in a world where I get a lot of 5-star reviews.
You're living in the carpet world. What I'm talking about here is that, like, for instance, I've had any number of things where I've been dealing with companies and they don't give a crap.
Nope.
I don't think so. I really believe that the companies want satisfied customers.
Let me give you an example. I decided to up my subscription at Channel 13 here so I could get these passport shows that are on their app. So
That's
I go in,
a nonprofit, right?
Yeah. So I went in and I did a $5 a month thing. Okay, $60 a year, right? So then nothing happens. So I go back and I do it again on another card, but now I've got 2 charges against me. So then I wrote them a letter, and I didn't hear anything back. I wrote them another letter, didn't hear anything back. Wrote them yet another letter and didn't hear anything back. Tried to phone them and you couldn't get them on the phone.
Oh, nobody's on the phone.
Okay, because what I'd like to do,
the card.
I'd like to cancel all of these things and then give me whatever I got to have in order to get the passport. But I couldn't get anybody on the phone. Finally, I waited somewhere and I got somebody on the phone and they took care of it. But 2 days ago, I wrote these emails and I never got one back. Never got a reply. So this is Channel 13 who comes to you begging for money, you know. We want your money. Please subscribe to Channel 13, or in San Francisco it'd be Channel 9. And then when you try, they just screw you over. You know, they just screw you over. So if they don't care, believe me, a lot of other companies don't care either.
Was Channel 13 UHF or VHF?
VHF.
Oh, okay. That was the last channel that you could turn to, right?
On VHF.
Yeah.
Then 14 was UHF.
Yeah.
But Phil, you don't do that to your customers, right?
Of course not.
Of course not.
Well,
so many companies are crazy these days.
I only have one goal in business, and that's a satisfied customer. So I will do whatever it takes. I tell everybody that works for me, you know what? I'm empowering you to do the right thing. You should never have to ask me to do the right thing. Just do it. And
I just think that people don't care anymore about servicing you, the customer.
It's the people who run the companies don't give a shit.
Well, they don't. Not only
they want to reduce the price.
But
you know how that works?
Hold on a second, Phil. The problem is that you try, and I've done this recently. You try and get any company that used to be that you could call a company, get somebody on the line and talk to them. They had a phone number. Please call us. This is where you can call us and contact us. That doesn't exist anymore. They don't want you to talk to them. You know, you can get these voice prompts, but it has to resolve itself into some kind of recording. And you go, let me talk to a human being. Yeah, but first do this. And then you go, let me talk to... you have to yell into the phone, let me talk to a human being. And eventually, maybe if you're lucky, you'll get one these days. But they don't want to. They don't want to talk to you. Yes, Alan.
There is an app that's made for iPhones and for Androids called Get Human, and it's free. And you look at it and you find the company you want, and it's got they update it every 3 months, the most current numbers to get to human beings. And I use it, once in a while when I can't get to anybody, and it works.
I mean, like I have FiOS.
I mean, you have to dial the number separately. But
I have FiOS here. It used to be I could call FiOS and talk to somebody. I can't anymore. I just can't anymore. It's impossible. You can't get a number to. It says here's the number to call us if you want to talk to somebody, and then you call that number, and it's just a bunch of robotics telling you, press 1 for this, press 2 for something else, and none of it will do much of it.
My air conditioner just came on. It feels good. Sorry.
At my store, I'm booked for installations until the middle of August. And the reason why, every day. And what really screwed me up is one of my installers got COVID last week. And he had to take 6 or 7 days off to get to the point where he tested negative. And even though he said, hey, I feel pretty good, but, my kids got COVID, then I got it. And, so that screwed up my schedule even more. But, I'm out till mid-August. And that's because people call me up. They see the reviews. Now, I say this on your show. Now, everybody's going to get the idea to give me a 1-star review. All my haters. But, if stores or just businesses realize that they only have one boss, and that's the customer.
Hey, if all these companies treat the customer like crap, which they do now, and with the inability to talk to them and to get stuff done, I mean, come on, Channel 13 comes begging for my money all the time, doesn't want to let me have a way to get a hold of them. None of them
They
want
answer the phone on pledge night. So when they want you to pledge,
you
call them up. They'll answer the phone.
Yeah, you usually don't get one of those people who's on camera, though, answering the calls.
I have one other question. I noticed today that you got your blueberry hot sauce delivery out.
Oh, yes. By the way, I wanted to thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Marjorie wants me to thank you for that because there's no way I want to use it.
No.
But she loves hot sauce, so
okay.
I told her it's ghost peppers.
Welcome. I'm just wondering if she tried it.
I don't know. She hasn't tried it yet. It's still sitting out there.
I would have GERD and acid reflux all night if I used that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'll get you a bottle and
no, don't do me any favors.
Change the label to mild.
Yeah. No, don't do me any favors.
Yeah. So anyway.
You're welcome. Anytime she wants more, let me know. I'll send her more.
Now, keep calm, Phil. Let everybody get their 2 cents worth in here, because I'm going to talk about something here. The president tonight, I didn't hear the speech, but I hear he finally just gave an impassioned plea that, as he put it, this carnage has got to stop. And then gave a bunch of ways that you could take care of the carnage, and I don't think many of them were particularly effective. I think that we should make a law against assault weapons, and I'll tell you why. Very simply, you're not violating the Constitution, because when the Constitution was written, these guns didn't exist. Okay? So if we're going to go by what was the intent when it was written, at the very least you have to say, and correct me if I'm wrong, Josh, on this, you have to say the guns did not exist, these weapons did not exist at that time, and had our forefathers known about those weapons, would they have written it in exactly the way they wrote it? So, if you want to make a case that, I'd like to see all guns stop, But at least these assault rifles, which seem to be the weapon of choice for these mass killings, they should probably make those illegal. Just say you can't have them, you know. Josh, how does that set with the Constitution?
That you're on the right track, you know, with that line of thinking, with trying to get it down into, you know, a textual view, or, you know, an original intent, and trying to address the issue with something that can actually be defended and, you know, well debated, and worked through in a way that's just not an all or nothing type approach, you know, because if the left, or if anybody, you know, just demands, you know, no guns, take them all, melt them down, or whatever, I mean, that's not going to get anywhere. You know, one, I don't think that it's legal, and two, you know, you're not going to get it. You're the only people that are really going to support that is a small number of people. So it's not going to get anywhere. I mean, you know, there are plenty of people in the middle that would vote for a lot of Democrats, but they're not going to support that, especially in the Midwest and other parts of the country. So this is a more sensible path, even though you might not get there. And I do think that there is a good argument that can be had about, you know, textually, these weapons could be regulated in a way, because there is no way to have foreseen them, and via the text of the amendment, the government does have some power to regulate. So they're not taking away anyone's ability to arm themselves. They're taking away certain abilities to arm themselves in certain ways, but not in all ways. So, you know, that's a good starting point to work off of.
You don't think that's a slippery slope?
No.
Well, I think that it has to be
the famous Republican slippery slope.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that it is, because, you know, it can be reviewed. I mean, it can be reviewed by the voters. Okay, it can be reviewed judicially. You know, it can be reviewed by lawmakers. I mean, everyone's going to have a chance to have their democratic say in it. And, you know, the government has always regulated certain weapons. You know, there is what is reasonable and what is not reasonable. You can find ways to fit that within the original intent. You can find ways to fit that within the text. So I guess what I'm saying is there is some crossover areas there that can grab different judges of different judicial interpretation philosophies that could get on board with it, you know, because you're banning certain weapons, you know, especially if you get pretty specific. Now, whether or not you support that is another matter. Okay, that's a personal matter, right? Mm-hmm. What you think, or what I think, or what the third or fourth or fifth person we ask thinks could be different. But we're not talking about the specifics. We're talking about broadly, you know, would the government have the power to do so? And for up to a certain point, the answer, you know, is yes. I don't know that, you know, really anyone will say nothing is off limits, because we know that that's not the case, because there are weapons that you cannot own. I mean, there always have been. So, you know, the government does have that power.
Yes, Alan.
So I agree with Phil. It's kind of a slippery slope. How do you decide what an assault weapon is? You can start off with what everybody thinks of an assault weapon, the AR-15 and the AK-47. But then pretty soon people say, well, all semi-automatic rifles, it doesn't matter if they have a handgun round, a 22 bullet, or a rifle round, they're an assault weapon. And then they can say semi-automatic shotguns, they're an assault. I mean, where does it go?
You know, a lot of this uproar is over the school shootings, and of course there should be uproar. But I see a correlation between the school shootings. Now there was just one in Tulsa. It wasn't a school
There's a bigger
shooting.
there's a bigger correlation, Phil, but
Yeah.
you're avoiding
Well,
that
let
one.
me
You're avoiding
say
that
this. The correlation in the school shootings is most of the shooters are under 21, and most of them are on some sort of drug to keep them calm. You know.
one. Really? Do you know that for a fact?
Yeah, I had a list that was put out that had each school shooter, and what drugs they were on.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
And-
Where
and
did you
almost-
where'd you find this list,
Yeah,
Phil?
where'd you find that?
It was you're gonna get. It was put out by the Church of Scientology. But
Do you know what the Church of
about a
Scientology is
credible-
again?
my friend is the president of the San Francisco Church of Scientology, but I don't go there, and he doesn't. You know, we just ride motorcycles and hang out. But the
But
thing
you know
is,
that's one of the axes they grind.
well, yeah, psychology.
Yeah, so
and things
you
like
know,
that.
yeah. So, but here's the thing, Phil. You failed to mention what those two things had in common.
Yes, they have the age of the shooter and the fact that they're on drugs. Now, if
Wait a
you
minute,
don't
wait a
wanna
minute. No,
debate- hold it. If you don't wanna
you're
debate the
missing,
drug,
Phil. You're missing the main commonality between those two incidences.
what's that?
The fact that those are two states that suddenly liberalized their gun laws so that anybody could get a gun on a moment's notice.
But it happens in many states.
Wait a minute.
It happened in
But
Columbine.
it happened in it happened in
Look,
Columbine.
When it happened on Columbine, there was a gun ban in those years on
All
on
I'm
assault
saying, Phil,
weapons.
is that you failed to mention that these two states have just enacted similar gun laws that just allow people to promiscuously buy guns without any background checks.
I understand.
Without they can buy them and they can get them within an hour.
It's very simple. If you're under 25, you can't buy it. Unless you're in the military or the police department, if you're under 25, you can't buy a gun.
Who says
That's
that? Who
one way.
says that, Phil? In Texas, that's not true. In Oklahoma, that's not
but
true.
It could be true if if states wanted to pass those laws. And I feel that some sort of thing that addresses the issue of youth shooters going into these schools.
How about adult shooters? You know, there are adult
But
shooters.
they're not
out
going
there.
in and shooting up the schools.
Well, because they're out of school now. You
Yeah,
know,
well,
I mean,
Okay,
come
you
on.
had the guy with the bad back. He got an operation about 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
He went in and he was pissed off in Tulsa, and he ended up shooting his doctor, another doctor.
Was that a
and-
kid? Was that
No.
Okay, then that.
But it wasn't a school.
There goes.
This guy had a beef with the doctor that performed his operation. So, in that case,
AR-15 the same day.
Wait. Go ahead, Kevin.
Say what, Kevin?
He bought that AR-15 the same day as
Yes,
well.
he did. And I have no issue with a cooling off period, as well as checking a person's background and ensuring that they're eligible to buy a gun. Now, in some states,
How about
they're a little
forcing
too-
them? How about forcing anybody who buys a gun to have insurance?
Well, if you're smart, you do.
Well, no, you're saying. I mean, as a prerequisite to getting a gun. That yes, we're not saying you don't have the right to own a gun, but we're saying you do have to have insurance in order to have one.
Well, if you drive a car, supposedly that's a privilege, and you need insurance. If you buy a gun, that's supposed to be a right. Now, do you, I mean, you may not agree with that right. I mean, Jeff rolled his eyes, but on the other hand, at the moment, it is a right. And I don't know that you can say that you have to have insurance or you have to have some prerequisite to have that right.
Don't you think that a pistol by itself is a licensed gun, and yet there are restrictions that kids at certain ages can't get a pistol?
That's true. And kids at certain ages shouldn't. And I believe that if they prosecuted the parents or the owners of guns that don't properly store them, right now, some of these school shooters, they're not holding the parents liable or responsible. Whereas if they did, and they
If
should.
they did, the kid would still do it.
So
They did. They did to that kid in Wisconsin, didn't they?
Which kid is that? Kyle Rittenhouse?
The one I don't remember his name. The kid in Wisconsin that shot up. God, which one was it? How many are there? You know, I can't remember. But he ended up in a mobile home, or was it? Oh yeah, maybe it was just a kid that he shot.
They were prosecuting, I believe, those parents in Michigan.
Yeah, they were prosecuting the parents in that.
Yeah.
So in California, Jeff,
But that's rare, you know.
just for-
Yeah, it is.
we have some of the strictest gun laws in California. So you have to be 18 to buy a long gun, rifle or a shotgun, and 21 to buy a pistol. And and you go through a 10-day background check that is done by the state, but they also check federal NCIC, National Crime Information Center. And so and if there's anything there, they don't give you the gun. You go back to pick it up, and they say no, the background was turned down, and that happens in about 10% of the cases. So, and the 10-day background is a kind of a cooling off period too.
Well,
So
yeah,
we
because the
have
guy in
insurance.
Tulsa bought the gun.
Several of us have insurance, but the insurance only really protect. Like Phil and I both have insurance, but it really protects us. It doesn't protect anybody
No,
else.
I have another policy through the NRA, that locked in insurance, and that is for liability if I do damage to someone else.
Oh, they only pay $50. It's all they can afford now.
They don't pay 50.
But you can't bring back these kids' lives with insurance, and so
No.
really, what
Well,
is
I'll
that
tell you what they
insurance?
are doing. I mean, and they've been successful at it. Is that they've been suing gun manufacturers, and in where was it? Up in
They sued Remington, I think,
Connecticut, was it? Where?
and Remington went bankrupt.
Yeah, and there's this company. All the AR-15s come from.
Well, a lot of people build them.
Company called Daniels.
Oh, well, I read that. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I would love to own a Daniels Defense.
Yeah,
that is
so
the
would I.
highest quality AR-15 you can get.
It's a $5,000 AR-15.
Right. I was on the waiting list for a Daniels Defense lightweight AR upper, and I'm still on the waiting list. Daniels Defense doesn't make any
What are you
cheap
going to
guns.
do with an assault rifle?
Well, it's not an assault rifle. AR stands for Armalite
I know,
rifle.
but it also comes under the assault weapon. People consider it an assault weapon because of
that's
the nature
because-
of how it shoots. And so on.
No, but no, the nature of how it shoots is no different than other carbine.
I know AR doesn't stand for assault rifle. It stands for Albert Reynoso.
Yes,
What,
Armalite.
what,
Yeah,
what
yes.
about if we found out that one car, say a Cadillac, for instance, killed more people in accidents? Would we call that an assault car?
No, but I'll tell you something. I mean, quit making the equivalency to cars, because cars are created for a separate reason. The reason cars are created is so you can get from point A to point B with ease and comfort. Okay. Whereas guns are only guns are only created for one simple reason: to kill something.
Not
That's
true.
wait a minute.
That's your reason.
What can you do? Turn it over and pound nails into wood? Come
Some
on.
people do, but it's also for hunting. It's also, and that's not the main purpose, but it's also for protection.
I have news for you, Phil.
Jeff, wait a minute. Jeff has got his hand up.
Sorry, you didn't make a very good
He
point.
doesn't talk very often.
Jeff.
I think the reason that people buy these kind of guns is for psychological ego.
That has a lot to do with it. Small
Let me
penises,
tell you
big
something,
gun.
Jeff.
You know.
They're very accurate. They're extremely accurate and very easy to use.
Well, that's good to know. That's good to know how accurate they are. Wow, if I want to take out everybody in my local school, I know the gun to go get.
If I want to take out one thing, and I don't want to miss and hit some innocent person or thing, I want something that's accurate.
Wait,
Phil
Brian.
Myers,
Brian
somebody.
has joined us as 0 days and still counting. What is that?
9 days.
9 days and still counting.
9 days since the shooting, and nothing's happening.
And nothing's
Wow,
happened.
your shirt in the screen there looks like NRA, but then when you lift it up, it's NBA.
No, it's NRA. I support them 100%.
So do I.
What is it? That's
I need to
NBA.
get my tooth. Hold on.
Okay, go get your
his
Flipper.
balls,
Flipper
too.
tooth.
You know, after Leon Spinks beat Muhammad Ali, they asked him, "What are you going to do now that you're the champion?" He says, "I'm going to get me some teethus." You know, because he wanted teeth. He called them teethus. Remember that?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, you might be interested in this, Josh, and especially Phil, who thinks maybe he has COVID. Anybody else here had COVID? No. You have, Tony.
Nope.
Yeah.
Tony.
Well, the
I'm
great
still
thing, the great,
no COVID.
the great thing about Johnny Depp is he has managed to achieve herd immunity.
She gets $2 million. Now, if she goes bankrupt and doesn't pay him the 15, does he still have to pay her the $2 million?
Well,
Why
what you
would
do,
he
what
pay
you,
her that she
They
lost?
awarded her $2 million.
Yeah, well, what
for
you
her
do
suit.
is you say, okay, good, you know, I owe you 2 million, but you owe me 10, so I won't charge you for the 2 million, so now you only owe me 8.
I don't think they can do that. When
Yes,
you
you
go
can.
bankrupt,
Yes, you can.
the
Really?
court
I did it
decides,
in my case.
and if you have an asset and you bankrupt, that asset is still due the bankruptcy court. So, for instance, you didn't go bankrupt in your case. You just paid the thing and settled. But in Amber Heard's situation, with a $15 million judgment, I would think that she'd go Chapter 7, and and then, but Johnny Depp would still be on the hook for the $2 million.
No, he wouldn't be on the hook for the 2 million. No.
Chapter 7, that means she's going to marry Shaq O'Neal, right?
Yeah, no. Chapter 7 is when you're totally bankrupt. There's no reorganization. That's Chapter 11. There was reorganization.
Yeah, but anyway, hello Ray, how are you?
Hi.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm doing good. Just got done watching the Warriors get beat really badly.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, is that why you're now here, Brian? Of course.
Well, it was really close until the last 4
Fourth.
minutes.
Warriors started blowing them out, and then they got scared shooting the ball. So,
Yeah.
okay,
It
it's only
started
game.
missing.
It's only game 1.
Yeah.
Hey,
But,
the,
you know-
the Celtics look good, though, I have to tell you.
Nah, they will last.
I think that Jeff's new medicine came in today. He's really talkative.
Yeah, it's my new drugs.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's a good thing. I like that. I like when you're more talkative.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Still no COVID.
What isn't it? Oh, that.
You know, after 30 minutes, it doesn't count, Phil.
Yeah.
Keep the directions.
Paid good money for this.
Yeah, it's going through a couple of my friends, but our family's still doing good. Adrian had a cough for like about 4 or 5 days now, congestion, and keep testing her every day, nothing. And then me, I get tested every day for work because we're still testing at our facility.
Now,
So
has she had the vaccine yet?
yeah, oh yeah.
Brian, what she got? I got the same symptoms. I got runny nose, runny eyes.
Tylenol for kids for cough and fever.
Yeah, there's a difference though, Phil. You've got a cold, she's got a cold, but she's cute and you're not.
Yeah, God heals the cute ones quicker, so you're gonna be a while.
Yeah.
Hey, Brian, do you have one of those flipper teeth or something?
Yeah, just right now. Yeah, just for
Tell us how it goes in, Brian.
It's fun to freak your friends out.
The wife starts arguing with me, and I smile because I don't wear it at night when I'm home. So then she
Well,
just.
I like those clippers, and they say they won't give me clippers here. They say they don't. Most dentists do not give them anymore.
Flippers.
Clippers, they're little false teeth, and you take them and you go, huh,
Temporary.
And I thought it was terrific because when I was missing a tooth because I had it removed, right, and I hadn't gotten a implant yet, and it had to heal and all of that, this served the function of working as a spacer, and also went in really easy in the morning, and I'd have it all there all day, and after a while I said, what am I going to pay $5,000 to put an implant in when I can use one of the, see, there they are.
This was only $10.
Yeah.
$10.
Yeah.
Now you look much better. Sorry to tell you.
That's a track.
Very nice.
Fabulous there, Phil.
He got the Donald Trump discount. There you
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeehaw!
Yeah.
And that actually works.
Yeah.
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 But
$10 Bubba teeth.
But no, I mean, they don't. But they won't do a clipper with me. I asked for it when I had this tooth missing. I said, "Can you give me a? They're $750." I said, "I'll buy one. Give me a clipper." And no, they didn't give me a clipper.
Why?
They said we don't like to do it because you could swallow them or something.
I
like
knew
that.
it. They didn't want to get sued. I knew it.
Yeah. Like if I swallow it, it's gonna really just rip the hell of my insides to shreds.
They're afraid you're gonna
Tony's
choke.
got a background just like us.
So weird.
Yeah, only his is darker.
Yeah, we're all visiting Tony in his kitchen right now. 4 of us, 3 of us.
What do you want for breakfast? I got waffles. I got eggs.
Yeah.
You know, if they're as good as the pictures you send me, Tony, I'll stay home.
Oh,
Go to the diner.
Oh,
Go to
his pictures look
McDonald's.
good.
steak fee. I get better stuff in the food.
No, but I'll tell you, I felt that the whole Amber Heard Johnny
That
Depp
was
decision was where the whole thing was completely, looky-loo, Hollywood stuff, whatever. When the verdict came in, the verdict came out as being quite profound.
She's going to appeal. She said she's going to appeal.
Yeah, she's going to appeal, of course. But that doesn't mean that he hasn't gotten his reputation back. Because all you had to do was watch that trial and you saw this woman was lying through her teeth.
She's really not bad looking at all.
Well, she's not bad looking, but, that's some pretty...
Very pert.
That's some pretty expensive pussy.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Think of how much that cost Johnny Depp.
I like the breakfast there. When my sister showed me the clip when he got up to have breakfast instead of coffee, he has a big jug of wine. I'm like,
What about Elon Musk? He had to pay for her donations. I guess she
No, he didn't
donated-
have to. He did.
Yeah.
He
Did you
did.
ever know
Well,
anybody-
she claimed that she donated $250,000. I can't remember to who exactly.
I think it was for animals or something like that.
I don't know. But anyway, she claimed that but it turned out she didn't do anything. It was Musk. He paid it.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's what boyfriends are for, right?
That's what boyfriends are for. Exactly. Or
She's
ex-boyfriends.
not dating him anymore, is she?
No, but I think they still had a relationship going after she was married to Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
She was still screwing Musk and still screwing James Franco.
James Franco.
Yeah,
I know his mom.
They had some stuff of her getting off an elevator with him in the apartment while Johnny was away doing something elsewhere. Yeah.
Well, she's an actor. Wouldn't she, want
Did you
to
see her on the
associate-
stand? Not much of an actor.
she
know.
was unwooded.
Not much of an actor.
Didn't have a good script.
Huh? Yeah, right. But anyway, I just felt it was profound because of the conclusion and what it said. And I think it's about time because I think a lot of guys are getting accused of stuff, and then they have to prove they're innocent. What is this bathtub, Brian? Oh, Brian Sigmund. Here he comes. Yeah, there he is. Hi, Brian. How are you? Oh, he's got to connect his audio. It's coming. There it is. Hello, Brian. How are you?
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
Well, this is bathtub Brian, as opposed to Brian.
Yeah, well, sometimes I'm in the bathtub, but today I'm.
What's wrong with your finger? Did you go out with Amber Heard?
Oh, you saw this?
Yes.
I changed the air filter in my furnace, and the metal wire cut my finger, and then it bled like unbelievable all
So
over.
you use the electric tape for a Band-Aid?
That's what we do.
That wasn't a Band-Aid for black people? You know how they got Band-Aids that match your skin?
Oh, now we're getting racist on this show, are we?
No, it's just it's good business.
No, in the trade, we use electrical tape for everything. So that's what we do. So
I used to use gaffer's tape for everything.
Yeah. Gaffer's tape is good.
My line was gaffer's tape is the stuff that the world is kept together with, you know. And I first used to use gaffer's tape when we were doing TV stuff because it was good for everything. You could take wires and hold them down and think, yeah, there's the black gaffer's tape.
Yeah, so it says on the inside gaff. Gaffer's tape.
Does it say gaffers?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
great stuff.
Maybe you can see. You see, it says GAFF.
Yeah.
Mr. Gaff.
Yeah.
Pro Gaff.
So what's up,
USA.
Brian? What's new with you?
nothing much. I'm an air conditioning man. I do heating and air conditioning. So these past few weeks have been horrendous and crazy. And,
Alex, you could have used him today.
Yeah, can you get to New York soon and just put in my air conditioner for me?
No. Ask him, Bathtub Brian, if his air conditioner stopped working and then started working again. Is that an indication that it's time to get a new one?
No.
Oh, because Alex said Alex just spent $500.
Turn it back on.
Well, if it stopped working and then started working, that means you have compression. So it's a control issue, and a control issue is much cheaper to fix than, say, any other kind of issue. So, I mean, no, I would not assume that something that stops working and then starts working would be an issue that is detrimental. Like, oh, I would need something new.
Oh.
But
Alex, did you keep the old one?
No, we're getting rid of it. We still have it here, but Marjorie wants me to get rid of it. Mm-hmm. I told her we could put it in another window, and she went, "No, I don't want it in another window. I like those windows so I can look out them and I can open them when it's warm." And I'm going, "Don't you want to close them when it's warm? Doesn't that seem to make and put an air conditioner in there, you know?" But I mean, also she was constantly complaining about the humidity and so on. I'm going, you know, you keep the windows open. If it's hot outside, what's going to come in? Am I right, Mr. Air Conditioner guy?
Well, so we're talking about window units?
Yeah.
Yeah, if it starts acting funny, just trash it. No one's gonna work on the thing. So
yeah, right. So, you know, and if it's gone now, it's gonna go. If it went once, and it'll go again.
Aren't you like 8 stories up, Alex?
Yeah.
Can't you just push it out the window and who cares, you know?
Yeah, well, we do have, you know, we have this these braces around the building, you know, this what do you call it? Sheltering, so that when they're working on the building, it won't hit people and stuff like that. So, like if it fell out of the building, it would just hit that, you know.
Hey, Alex, I have a story about pushing an air conditioner out a window.
Okay.
Well, I'll make it quick. So, I was I put this new air conditioning in for a lady, and she had window units, and she had an oil heater, and we put in a whole new furnace, whole new air conditioner, and all. And she was an older woman, and she had this thing in the basement. They looked like chimes, long chimes with these little bullseyes on them. And they were in the way of where I had to put the ductwork. So I go to move them, and I said, "What is this?" And she goes, "Well, I used to do 4-H fairs with my husband. We were target shooters. And these little bullseyes would hit the chimes like a hammer. So they would go and they would do these shows and they would play patriotic songs. So they would have a 22 target pistol and they would shoot, and they would play these songs, like these patriotic songs, by shooting these little targets and hitting these chimes. And I said to her, I said, "Oh, you're like a regular Annie Oakley, aren't you?" She goes, "Well, what do you know about Annie Oakley?" I said, Annie Oakley, everybody knows Annie Oakley. She goes, "Oh, I'm shocked. My father used to tour on the Indian reservations with Annie Oakley." I said, "Oh, wow, that's crazy." So this woman would go out with these Target 22 pistols, and she would go and put on these shows. She'd throw the glass balls in the air and shoot them in the air and shoot these things. So when I got done putting this air conditioner in, I said to her, I said, "Well, do you want us to take these window units out for you?" She said, "No, I got them." And I said, "Well, you have muscle here. You got me, you got the install guys here. Why don't we take these window units?" No, I got them. By the time I pulled out of the driveway and I collected her check and I pulled out, I noticed that all of her air conditioners were pushed out of the window into the gardens. She just pushed them out the window. She didn't give a shit. She was like, "I'm done with them," and she pushed them out the window. And we laughed all the way home. It was unbelievable. I mean, it was.
She's a horrible shot. She was trying for you. Oh.
I saw that show. It was called The Whitakers. Those inbred people that live in the shacks and the.
I thought that was Tony's family.
None of them are alive. But
anyway, what else is going on in the news?
By the way, Alex, Bathtub Brian just showed you one other reason people shoot guns. That doesn't have
to play music. Yeah. I never thought of it, but guns are a well-known musical instrument. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. The loudest music in the world, you need earplugs. Guns, you need earplugs. So it keeps the earplug market in business.
Yeah, I imagine.
Just don't buy these crappy amplified ones called Otto, O-T-T-O.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I like those. They're military electronic earplugs.
Nobody cares.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway.
I don't think I'm going to need
it. Josh, anything in the news that's been rocking your world at all?
A couple of things happened, It was interesting that, apparently in Texas, they passed a state law, I guess, that is trying to ban private social media companies from being able to censor their members for their views or beliefs, which on its face sounds, like a free speech issue, but it's private companies. So in other words, Texas is
private companies are like Twitter, Facebook. They're private companies.
Yeah, that's who it's aimed at. I think there's.
But is the internet private property?
That doesn't have anything to do with it, Phil. The companies themselves.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Can I just finish the goddamn sentence?
I asked you a fucking question, Josh.
God damn it, man.
I know you're sick, but you can at least.
That's the problem here. I mean, we can't have a conversation about anything because no one will shut the fuck up long enough. Come on.
Go ahead.
This is why we talk on Saturday night, because we can have a conversation. Without someone asking me something fucking stupid.
You're a little too sensitive.
No, I think he's right, Phil, in this case. I mean,
I asked him a question.
But he was in the middle of saying something. Let him finish it, then ask him.
Wasn't pertinent that, he said that you can't say it.
You weren't letting him finish.
It's a private company, and I asked him if it's over the internet, isn't that public?
Yeah, but he's trying to say a story, that's all, Phil.
What I think now is that we have 5 minutes left, and we're not going to be able to talk about it. So I'll just go back to talking.
Well, I know the case you're talking about, and it's
just aggravating.
Was it the Supreme Court? Who's
no.
Phil? I'm talking.
Yeah, they refuse to stay. They're not going to let the law go into effect, I believe. So the hell with it.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, if you think about certain aspects of political conservatism, you know, why is it okay if I own a business? You know, it's I'm allowed to tell you no, I won't sell you a cake because you're gay, but if I own a business about that, but then I can't censor. I mean, they make no sense. I mean, but we're not going to talk. The hell with it. I'm not calling this shit.
I just don't
anymore,
understand,
you know?
Josh, why it's still okay to censor that stuff if they're using the internet, which belongs to the people.
Does it belong
Well, I
to
would
the
tell you
people?
what I thought about that if I thought that I could talk for more than 5 seconds at a time, but I'm not going to be able to. I'm just going to turn this into a fucking clown show here in a minute. So it doesn't matter. It really doesn't.
You're
I just,
very sensitive.
you know,
I give you
Phil,
space
please
because
stop.
you're sick.
Phil, stop.
Huh?
Stop.
All right.
it's fine.
Josh, what I was going to say is that to begin with, Phil is all wrong. The internet doesn't belong to the people. The airwaves belong to the people. I think that's what you're mixing it up with, Phil.
No.
Yes. The airwaves,
internet
according to
was
the
developed by the government.
according to the FCC, according to the FCC Act of 1934, I think it starts off with the airwaves belong to the people. They don't say that about the internet. The internet doesn't belong to anybody.
I know that there's that thing called SB 160.
No, it has nothing to do with this.
Well, now when the internet was developed, was it developed by the government?
Phil, I'm still trying to
Al
talk to
Gore
Josh.
developed it.
No,
I'm still trying to talk to Josh.
All right. I thought you talked to him on Saturdays.
Oh, Jesus, Phil.
Oh.
I guess the question here is, we only got 2 minutes left, is how do you think, was it the Supreme Court that said that they couldn't stop them from preventing people from using their platforms?
Well, I mean, I haven't really heard the case yet. I think it was today. I saw the headline, so I don't know if it was yesterday.
But it was some kind of temporary thing that.
Yeah, they're just to bypass the law from going into effect. But as a larger issue outside the court, I guess it's just an interesting conversation to talk about the law in itself. And like I said, the theory of conservatism that in one way says private businesses should be okay to do whatever they want, to deny people things based on their beliefs. But now we've turned around basically in the same thing. It's instead of expression, it's speech, which are all contained within the same amendment, and now they're saying that it's not okay. So I have issue with that. It doesn't matter about who owns the airwaves or whatever. I'm just saying, I'm not even wanting to discuss that. I'm wanting to discuss it as a matter of political philosophy and hypocrisy.
Yeah.
But it's not going to go anywhere. So
yeah. But it was in Texas. So anyway,
the law was in Texas, right?
Yeah. Let me just play the theme here because it's getting close to the end. Thank you, Phil, for being here this evening. Appreciate it. Jeff, always a pleasure to have you here. Kevin, great to have you here as well. Alan, Josh, love your mind. Okay, and of course, Tony. What can we say about your mind? Not much. And Ray, you've been very quiet tonight, but thanks for joining us. I really appreciate it. And the two Brians are at the bottom of the picture. There's first of all Brian Neary, and then there's Bathtub Brian.
Bathtub Brian's got all his teeth. That's how we can tell the difference.
$10.
Yeah, and why don't all of you give a big wave goodbye, and I'll give a big wave goodbye with you, okay? Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, there they go. That's our citizen panel for tonight. We got a little bit of time here. Let me tell you that Jack Bishop is next, right here on GabNet. He's got the citizen panel going. It's done through Skype, and you call GabNet Live on Skype. GabNet Live. and he would love to talk to you and find out what you're thinking about various and sundry things. I'm a little punchy tonight. Boy, I'm telling you, it's weird. Towards the end, I found I couldn't put two sentences together, like I'm having that trouble right now. Anyway, I'll see you again tomorrow, right back here, 10:30 Eastern Time. Same station in life. In the meantime, as always, and I like to say it, if you see her, tell her I love her. And by the way, if you haven't gotten your COVID shots, you're an asshole. See you later. Bye-bye, everybody.